I am traveling in a 30-foot motorhome that has 8 cameras mounted on it. 7 cameras mounted in each direction outside and 1 inside the vehicle. All times indicated are Pacific Standard Time unless otherwise noted. On February 20th, 2013, at approximately 9:30 Mountain Standard Time, I was traveling west on I-10 in New Mexico. A few miles east of Deming, New Mexico is a Border Patrol stop. This is a permanent station with a building that is alongside of I-10. All traffic is directed through this border stop. As we drove up to the station, the dog began sniffing my motorhome and the Border Patrol agent began questioning my passenger and I. Looking in my mirrors, I could see the dog walking around the motorhome while not making any indication to it by barking, scratching, or sitting and staring at any particular area. The border agent asked me to pull to the side for further inspection because the dog reacted. In another view, the dog has finished sniffing the outside of the motorhome, and the agent giving the peace sign to the agent that was questioning us. He had us pull into the secondary inspection area, and here we were interrogated further. In this video, we are standing at the top right of the screen while the agents are asking us questions. Here you see an edited version of the agent walking the dog around the motorhome and entering through the front passenger door with the dog. Now you can see the dog go inside the motorhome. You can see the dog does not really react to anything inside the vehicle. The dog jumps around the motorhome, wags his tail, and is the least bit interested in anything the agent shows the dog. At this point, the agent puts a leash on the dog. The agent points out things around the kitchen table. On the other side of the couch, the dog jumps around, checks out some of the drawers near the kitchen sink, back on the couch but a little bit higher, under the refrigerator, and into the bedroom, where the dog jumps all over the bed. He then checks a pantry near the main cabin door and then the front cab of the motorhome, finally letting the dog out of the front driver's side door. Even though the dog did not react in any way, the agents found it necessary to continue searching the motorhome. Take notice of the agents' faces. At times they seem to be amused by some of the things they see in the motorhome. Another interesting point is if the dog reacted to the outside area of the motorhome, why didn't they just inspect any of the outer compartments? They are all locked and would need a key to be opened. At no time did they ask for a key, or did I see a person at the time or on video later. If the dog reacted to an outside area of the motorhome, they should have searched at least one of the compartments that are lined around the motorhome. Same thing with the spare tire that has a cover on it and mounted on the back of the motorhome. Clearly the video would show them pulling off the cover, and I'm sure they would not go through the trouble to return the cover back on the tire. It isn't easy to do. While one agent is inspecting my sock drawer, the other takes interest in my evaporative air coolers. There are 2 of them, and he checks both out. Now, nearing the end of the search, you can see them lift the bed frame, which is in front of the inside camera. Damage was done to the frame as it was screwed down to the framework and the wood was broken. At no time did they find any drugs, weapons, or illegal aliens. Now here's where it gets real interesting. They told us we were clear and could now leave, of course not mentioning any damage they have done to the vehicle. You can see we have just left the checkpoint and began on our way. However, you will notice 2 government vehicles chasing us down within a minute. Later you will see the view over the right passenger door where the agent told my passenger he had left something in the motorhome. He also commented by saying, "You do not want to be caught with this in your vehicle." He told my passenger that it was an eyeglass case sitting on a box on the seat behind me. My passenger walked over to the box and returned the eyeglass to him. He thanked us and left. Take notice of the peace sign given to the other agents, as if all okay. Lastly, why did the agent leave something in my motorhome? The way he presented himself about it, it probably had drugs in the case. Why else would he be so concerned about it and say we would not want it to be caught with it? If it was drugs taken from another vehicle, it should have never been brought into my motorhome. Instead, it should be taken directly to their station and put in for evidence. I will never be sure of what it was unless an investigation was held. If someone was caught with an eyeglass case with drugs in it at that time and day, it would indicate a major problem. Now my passenger's fingerprints are on the eyeglass case. This is a view from inside the motorhome when the agent asked for the eyeglass case and my passenger walked over to the box and returned the eyeglass case to him. Now let's think back here. After the agent reacquired his glass case, he gave the peace sign as if to say everything was okay. Sounds feasible, doesn't it? Now you have the first agent before we were told to pull over for a secondary inspection, give the peace sign to an agent that initially was interrogating us. However, the interrogating agent decided the dog reacted. Seems strange to me. What do you think? Was the initial stop warranted? Who reacted, the dog or the agent?